Dr. David Fajgenbaum refused to give up.
The Penn doctor has a rare disease that attacks vital organs.
He was told more than once it was a death sentence.
But instead of waiting for a miracle, he found one himself.
An already existing FDA-approved drug.
Now at Penn Medicine, he and his team are using the same approach to unlock new treatments for others who have lost nearly all hope.
The way I look at it is that I'm not supposed to be here, and I don't know how long I will be, but as long as I am on a mission to make sure that we find as many of these hidden cures as possible and unlock them to save lives.
My experience from being a patient, but also the work that I do, has basically given me these sparks of hope. If I'm gonna be able to spend time on this planet that I shouldn't have had, what can I do for other people? Because I have the gift of health right now. I'm gonna give it to someone else.
Oh, let me see these. That was the first picture we took.
Mm-hmm.
Our first date.
Remember that little boardwalk?
Yeah, I remember.
We look good there.
Yeah, we look real good.
In 2020, some friends, they had a Juneteenth barbecue. I expect, no new faces, and all of a sudden I'm in the kitchen with one of my friends and I look up and he walks in. And I did a double take because I was like, oh, well, who's this?
We hit it right off. She had that hospitality about her. She asked if she could make me a plate. And that really just took me, right off my feet.
We didn't talk to anyone else. I think it was just him and I, just at the hip all night.
We've been going strong ever since. Before I got sick, we was full of life. We was living life. We were making future plans. And, when this happened, all that came crashing in. I think I first noticed something was going on with my body. One night I went to the gym. I'm lifting weights, I'm trying to get into it, but I just feel so weak. I go ahead and leave. I get home and I vomit. After about 3 or 4 days, my stomach starts to swell. I head to the emergency room. They said I had fluid around my organs. I just figured, it was a quick solution to it. And the doctor came in and he said, we think you have lymphoma cancer. And, my life changed from that moment he said that. This disease, it kills your immune system and attacks all your organs. Within 3 or 4 weeks, I lost 40 pounds. It was like a shock wave going through my body. My muscle mass deteriorated. My bone structure deteriorated. My whole body is just shutting down, and this disease is just eating me alive.
I woke up one morning, and I kind of looked at his back, and all I could see was his shoulder blades. That was a bit of a shock.
And I had to accept, my body's dying slowly, and, we got to find something, that help me, or, I'm not gonna make it.
Ready, go.
Go that way!
When David was sick, it was a really tough experience. It was really hard to watch someone that was so strong just sort of crumble in front of you. But I just always knew that he was in there and he was gonna find a way to get back.
All right, who wants to read this one?
I love my red shoes. I love my red shoes.
He definitely has a level of empathy because of what he's been through in his life. I think it makes him work harder because he has this purpose.
So I was a third-year med student at Penn when I got really sick. And the reason that being a Penn Med student was so important is that meant that I could walk down halls and get advice from the incredible brilliance and expertise on campus. We have those kinds of people who are so focused on patient impact that they're willing to spend the time brainstorming and whiteboarding And on top of that, I had this amazing colleague who gave me space in her lab and just said, David, come work in my lab, use the space. Like, I don't study Castleman disease, but go for it. And if I didn't have each of those pieces of the puzzle, I'm not here today. My experience from being a patient, but also the work that I do, has basically given me these sparks of hope. Because I know that there's all these drugs out there. There's actually 4,000 approved drugs. Yes, they're made for specific diseases, but what we keep learning over and over again is that a lot of times drugs made for one thing can actually work for something else. We actually don't need to do 5 to 10 years of testing. We don't need to spend $1 billion. Like, we could just use this thing to help this patient. It's been over 11 years now that I've been doing great on this drug that wasn't made for my disease.
I seen his pictures from when he was sick to when he was healthy. And I'm like, I just had to get in touch with this doctor. He's my inspiration now. I gotta find this guy. If he's healthy, I know I can get there too. The first time I met Dr. David, he went to shake my hand, and I just hugged him. Hey man, we're family. And I didn't want to let go. We had that, connection.
It wasn't just the physical condition that reminded me so much of myself, because I looked just like him years before due to my condition. But I think the biggest thing is I could feel myself in him, because I remembered that feeling, just fear and uncertainty. And I just thought to myself, gosh, if we can do anything to help this person, we've got to do it.
The treatment going back, it wasn't from Dr. David's team. It was from my own team and set of oncologists I had. The thing about it is it didn't work. My body wasn't responding to it.
So December, we're getting ready for stem cell transplant. Fast forward a few weeks, in January is when his blood pressure just kind of started to tank and passing out at home. And then finally they admitted him and put him in CCU. And so at that point, they're like, you're too sick. The transplant is off the table. Just after that, his doctor came in and he was like, just hospice is, the next step. That was hard to hear.
We sat there, we cried, and I was 140 pounds. I couldn't even get out the bed to make it to the bathroom. I had tubes coming out of every angle. I gave up.
I remember getting an email from Tara on a Friday afternoon saying Joseph's doctor wants to put him onto hospice care. And I remember reading it and just saying, what? How? Like, what happened? Like, what did I miss? Have we tried everything? What do you mean hospice care?
I just kind of laid everything out. And I think I said, is there anything that you can do?
Us humans, we can't look at billions of research articles. Artificial intelligence actually can look at billions of articles. We utilize something called a biomedical knowledge graph, which is basically, imagine a map of everything that we know about every drug, every disease, every gene, every protein, and then we train AI algorithms on known treatments. Like, this drug works for this disease, look at this pattern. And then we humans can figure out, what are the things we should focus on. In Joseph's case, we needed to find drugs to treat Poem syndrome. Poems is very rare, but there are similarities between Poem syndrome and Castleman's, my condition, and also multiple myeloma. So I'd thought about 3 chemotherapy drugs that are often used in multiple myeloma, and this AI algorithm that we use also scored those 3 drugs highly. Chemo is often the last thing you do for a person who's barely surviving, because if we give him the drugs, they could kill him. It's part of why it's hard for a doctor to maybe make the decision to try these medicines, is because you actually have to be judicious with the drugs you use. There actually might be a reason not to do it. I understood the implications, and at the same time, they were getting ready to take him off life support. As soon as that happened, his heart was going to stop. He was going to die. Is there a chance that this drug could stop the disease and turn things around?
And Dr. David would say, we got to give this guy a chance, man. You got to give him a chance. He deserves a chance of living. Every person deserves a chance. Why not him? My body started to respond within a week or two. And 3 weeks later, they're moving me from CCU down to the main floor. I'm getting stronger, but the medicine can only do so much. You gotta get up and physically move around. And next thing you know, I got up and I started to walk. And I started to do one squat here, and I would walk, and maybe do another squat.
That I'm like, okay, this is starting to work.
Hey, Dr. David, this is Joe. Just want to send love, support to the team. Each feet represent a mile. 26 miles, of course, is a marathon. So I'm almost there. Hope to see you guys soon on the other side.
After I got out of the hospital, I was still on dialysis. So I had a tube coming out of my stomach, and I had a kidney doctor. He called me up one night, and he said, Joseph, I don't know if it's a godsend, if you have an angel, but your kidneys are working at 100%. And I said, what? And they start running tests, and next thing you know, now the transplant's back on the table.
Dr. David and his team really excited about this coming Saturday, getting the stem cell transplant. But I just want to thank you guys, and I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart.
It was an 82% chance after 1 year that, I could go into full remission. And it took me 5 months, after the transplant, and I went in full remission. So, you know what I mean? Everything just kind of lined up, the stars aligned.
I can't help it. All right, I just got my friend. I can't sit over here. I'm here because of you, Dr. David. I'm here because of you, man. You are my guardian angel.
I'll go to you, brother. I love you, man.
To see him today, the way that he looks is just like, it can't put into words. He looks so healthy, so full of life. Oh, it's incredible to see him looking so good.
What makes David remarkable is he's a big picture person. He thought, why don't we take advantage of this concept and expand it to not only Castleman disease, but all other diseases.
I am excited to announce the launch of Everycure and Everycure.org, a nonprofit organization on a mission to unlock the full potential of each and every drug to cure each and every disease possible. Let's just look across all the opportunities out there to help people. So that way, when the future Joseph of the world has that disease, we've already done the lab work, and now it's just, here's the medicine. And it's because of this collective effort, we've made so much progress with the impact we've had.
I was one of the lives that were saved. I'm a blueprint to people out there that are trying to cling to hope. And Dr. David, I just gotta say, he's a genius. He got into this, because his mom got sick with brain cancer. And he wanted to find, a cure for her. And then he ends up getting sick. And he saves his own life because his doctors didn't know how to. And next he's saving so many others, and I'm just one of them. Because it's not just about me. It's about everybody else that's sick out there and that needs a cure. It's about saving the next life, passing it on.
I think Penn's at the forefront of medical discoveries because of that singular focus on patient impact. We are so focused on how do we make sure that the thing that we do in the lab is actually able to help this person, and let's do it as quickly as we can. That's our superpower here. And you think about, okay, someone like Joseph and me, we were both going to die, and there was nothing that was going to stop it. And then we got this drug, this gift that it was always there, but no one knew it was there, and no one had cared to look before. Once that happens, you just have this amazing feeling of like, I better pay back the universe for this. How many more of these drugs are there out there, and can we find more of them so other people have a chance?